Hey, I'm Nick.
And I'm Allie.
And this is But Have You Tried Holiday Edition from
Oh, wow.
David A. Howe Public Library. You weren't ready
I
for
wasn't
that.
expecting that.
Okay, but it is. Here we are. It's the
It's
holiday
true.
season.
It is
I've
the
got my
holiday
lights up. The library's decorated. You have a festive sweater on.
I know.
So this is the moment. I have done something this holiday that I have never done before, and that is watching It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh,
Never seen it. Have you seen it?
no.
Oh, we should have done it together.
I know. We should have. I actually think that's maybe in our magic pick
Is
bowl,
it?
so it's
Okay.
possible we need to fish it out.
Okay. We were at a thrift store just doing some holiday shopping, and I found it, and I was like, you know what? This is the moment. I thought it was really good. I mean,
Okay.
I know I'm not breaking new ground here by saying one of the most famous movies in the world, but it was really good, and it had, like, the acting had kind of a modern sensibility to it. There was a looseness to it that I was not expecting. I expected it to be a little bit more like, we're so serious, but I don't know. It was... I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. And it's not super Christmassy. I've heard that lots of times, and that is definitely accurate. And the whole concept of him seeing what life would be like if he wasn't there is like the last 20 minutes of the movie. It's not the whole... Yeah,
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it really threw my expectations off, but I was pleasantly surprised overall.
Huh. I feel like I've seen so many like spoofs. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But never, to
Yeah.
my knowledge, at least unless I watched it when I was a small child and just don't remember. Never have I seen the original
Yeah.
thing.
Well, we were watching it, and my wife halfway through was like, maybe I've never seen this movie? But I think it was just a thing where she had seen bits of it, like,
That makes sense.
you know, and probably was not paying attention the whole time, like as a kid or something. But yeah, it was pretty good. I've been watching. I have not watched my Alistair Sim Christmas Carol yet, which I must do. We did watch Muppet Christmas Carol. The eggnog's already in the fridge, so we're ready
need to get some of
ready to
that.
go there. I think that's it. I'm listening to a lot of Christmas music. I've been liking the John Legend Christmas album. I've been listening to that a
I've never
lot this
listened to
year.
that one.
I listened to the Goo Goo Dolls Christmas album, which I had never heard before.
Wow.
I listened to a Carole King Christmas album, and it was like the worst thing I'd ever heard.
Oh,
So
no.
I was really surprised by that. What about you? What's on your holiday docket?
Well, I'm listening to my usual Christmas favorites, the James Taylor at Christmas album.
Sure.
It's not Christmas without that.
Yeah, I understand.
And also the Nora Jones Christmas album.
Yeah.
That's also really good. And just like, it has some of the classics, but has a lot of like slightly different stuff in a way that I find fun and
Yeah.
refreshing. So, you know, and like doing some baking. Last night I made double chocolate peppermint biscuits.
I think there's an obligation that when you're going to do that, you need to bring stuff
Okay,
to
well,
me.
I'll revise my actions in the future.
Somebody, I don't remember who, I guess maybe Shaw down at the front desk was talking about trying to make bagels. And I was like, you know who makes bagels? Caleb Fessmeyer. I've still never had one of these bagels.
It can happen at some point. He hasn't made them in a really long time because, I mean, A, it takes a lot of time and he's been a lot busier. But B, now that I can't eat gluten, that's just really thrown the vibe
Yeah,
off for a
right.
lot of our ordinary baking.
I'm here for him if he needs help.
Okay,
eating
getting rid
bagels.
of glutinous bagels.
Caleb,
that
who
will poison
works
me.
at another STLS library here, he and I were at a digital conference together, and we were in one, we went to the same one. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes into this thing, and the audio is echoing. So everything
no.
the presenter is saying is echoing back, and it was like killing me. And I went for too long without asking, and I was like, who else is in this meeting? And I saw Caleb was there. So I messaged him on Discord, and I was like, am I going insane, or is this actually echoing? And he was like, oh my gosh, it is echoing.
Oh, no.
So we got through it. We got through it together.
That's hard.
It was hard.
Man, I hate it when that happens with like, especially when it's something like important and you're like, I really
Yeah.
want to listen. I'm trying so hard.
Yeah.
But then it's like echoing, or you're trying to have a conversation with someone, but then it's like, the other thing is when you're talking and you're echoing,
Yes.
and it's like it automatically makes you stop talking.
Yeah.
Like as
like
soon as
slow
you hear
down.
the
It's-
echoing,
yeah.
it like throws you off, and
Yep.
so it's impossible. And then you're like, I'm always like investigating, like looking through to see who has their sound on,
Yeah.
like that's throwing it off, and
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep.
get with the program.
Yep. There was no awkward Zoom bombing this time, which has happened before at one of these group meetings.
Is that
so.
why we switched to Teams?
It might be. It might be because we had a go-to meeting disaster.
Oh no.
So yeah,
Yikes.
it happens. But this one went off
Smoothly,
without a hitch.
except
Yeah,
for the
Caleb and I
echoing.
survived. Yes, we did.
That's what
So
matters.
so baking, holiday music. Are you watching anything?
We are rewatching the Hawkeye show.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
with my family because I
Yeah.
was like, it was my turn to pick something, and I was like, I don't really know. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, that'd be fun. And so Caleb and I made a deal that like I'd pick it for one, and he'd pick it for the next, so we could do 3 and 3 and watch the whole thing.
Is Caleb replaying the Miles Morales Spider-Man game? Because that is Christmas themed.
To my knowledge, no, but it could start at any time.
All right. I guess I didn't really think he stopped. I
you
thought
know,
that was a perfunctory question.
I sort of didn't think he stopped either, but like as you asked this question, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't remember seeing him play that anytime recently.
Yeah.
So,
I look forward to getting a message from Caleb in 6 months from now being like, I'm just catching up on the podcast, and no, I did not play Miles Morales or whatever.
Yes,
so,
it's very
hello,
possible.
future Caleb.
That's very possible. He's been playing a lot of Hades 2, although I think maybe he's stopped I'm not sure. I'm behind the times, but he's also been replaying Subnautica a lot lately.
Yeah.
So I'll just like, whatever, go over to say hello to him, and there's like, he's just like on the screen, and it's like this deep underwater, like spooky stuff and weird plants and everything.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I know this is not a bookmark episode, but you're going to hear about this anyway because I'm just completed Paper Mario Color Splash.
Okay.
Remember, I borrowed the Wii U from the Cuba library.
Right.
And I've had it for a long time. We don't have to get into how long I've had this thing for, but Tina, the director of that library, was here for a meeting, and she was like, oh, I'll grab the Wii U while I'm there. And I was like, okay. And so over the weekend, I was like, must complete Paper Mario Color Splash. You have to get 6 colored stars from different worlds, and I had 5. So I had to do the last one in one day, and it almost killed me.
Oh, wow.
And the final battle with Bowser was so hard, and I did it many times. And it was one of those things that was like, it's not just like, oh, you play for 3 minutes and you die and you got to restart. It was a long time because there were multiple stages to beat him, and it was really breaking my brain. But I did it. This is the first Paper Mario game that I've ever played, but I really loved it, and so I have to play some more.
Well, nice.
So...
You know, speaking of speedrunning things, have we talked about how I set a really unrealistic goal for myself with my writing for this season?
No.
So I'm part of this great writing group called Pathfinders Writing Collective, which is kind of like a post-NaNoWriMo world group. And we do the challenge that's like it starts in November and it ends the last day of January.
Yeah.
And you can pick what your goal is and like how if you're going to do all 3 months or just one or whatever. Which is nice because something that always bugged me about NaNoWriMo was they were like, you start and then you write 50,000 words. And I'm like, well, what if I'm halfway through a book already or I need to edit? Like,
can't do it.
I don't exist.
Right. You don't.
But anyway, so I'm working on this YA contemporary retelling of Dracula.
Yeah.
Which I am enjoying a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm zero drafting this, so I'm going to have everything planned. Like every single scene I'm going to have like a roadmap for. So I'll be able to write it really quickly. So I was like, maybe I can finish it by the end of January, by the end of the challenge. And then it took me longer to finish my zero draft than I thought. So I basically started the first draft like at the beginning of December. So we're talking writing like 70,000 words in 60 days.
Yowza. Okay.
So I am currently sort of mostly on track.
Yeah.
But I'm just, I don't know. I'm looking down the barrel at the holidays and wondering how long that's going to be lasting.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, I wish you all the best.
I'll report back on my success.
I think you can do it. I have 2 things. One, don't forget to resend me the updated draft of your most recent book.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Because you were going to do that. 2, I also rewatched the Hawkeye show.
Oh, nice.
When we were going through the MCU with our son, we got there and we were like, let's rewatch Hawkeye. And it was a lot of fun. Yeah. I just love Florence Pugh in that show as well. I mean, she's not in a ton, but as soon as she shows up, like,
it's just so good.
Her chemistry with Haley Steinfeld, who I also love.
I know.
Great. Just a great duo.
I mean, I feel like they really nail the like Kate and Clint dynamic of like,
yeah,
it's different than in what I've read of the comics, but it has the same energy.
Yeah.
In a way that I feel like is really fun.
I love a good platonic male-female friendship. Like,
I
you
agree.
don't get a ton of those.
I agree, and I think
they pull it off really
they're just
well.
so great and fun when it happens.
Yeah. I would watch more.
Yeah, for sure.
I would watch more. I don't know. Like, even watching through the second time, I kept thinking, like, would this be better if it was just cut into a 2-hour movie and not episodes? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
it's
I
hard
think
to say.
There's something to that. So I definitely think the Obi-Wan Kenobi show would be better as a movie, but that's neither here nor there.
I definitely think they should have made a Black Widow and Hawkeye movie in like 2014, but that's also neither here nor there.
But that Black Widow movie is good.
It's good, but why
really
did they
good.
wait so? We've talked about this too much, but
it's sexism and capitalism combining.
It's just it's not smart. You know what I mean? Like even if your motivations are purely just like we want to make money, I feel like it would have made money. Like I probably would have gone to see it with my little girly pop high school friends 3 or 4 times. You know.
I don't know. I think the landscape at that time, it was like Elektra had come out, Supergirl came out like in the 80s, and both of those were like flops, and I think they were like, girls don't want girl superhero movies.
Well, were those good? I mean,
no.
I saw Elektra and I enjoyed seeing it,
Okay.
but I don't know if I would have like gone to see it in theaters and been like, yeah, that was a good movie.
I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just saying I think that was the mindset at the time, that like they were saying a female-fronted superhero movie wouldn't work, even though Scarlett Johansson has now become, the most successful movie star of all time. You know what I mean?
Something like
So
that.
weird to sleep on that for so long.
Pretty weird.
Weird to be like, we could make a Thor movie with an unknown Australian actor, but we can't make a Black Widow movie with the most famous actress in the world.
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall. I mean, I wish I could have been
Really?
more than a fly on a wall. Well, I want to know. I'm just puzzled and would love to know like the conversations they had and how they were thinking about that. But I mean, also, like, I would have liked to actually be there and been like, what are you thinking?
I think the only reason why the Black Widow movie even got made was because of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Which is silly.
It is silly.
So, I don't... Yeah.
They've made so many mistakes.
It's stupid, but...
But Hawkeye was a great show.
It was. And the Black Widow movie's really good.
It is really good. But there should have been like 3 of them, high key.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
You're probably right about that.
Right.
This is not the topic of the hour, though. The topic of the hour is something that's near and dear to my heart, and that is the world of Archie Comics. And I have to tell you right up front that I feel that I've made a mistake.
Okay.
Because I wanted you to read Archie Christmas because I always read Archie Christmas. And this is a new shiny collection and has stuff from all across the genres of Archie. But then I read it myself, and I didn't think it was a very strong collection.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I'm concerned that I've set you down the wrong course. But why don't you hit me with some Archie facts?
Okay, I've got some Archie facts.
Okay.
So Archie came from Archie Comic Publications, also known for Sabrina Spellman, who I guess is somehow related in ways I don't understand. Sometimes
Sabrina?
she shows up.
Yeah. Sabrina's in the Archie
I
world.
know they cross over,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I don't fully understand how that happens, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Also, Sonic the Hedgehog, something I've also heard about a lot.
Yes.
And don't actually know anything about.
Sonic the Hedgehog is like the Mario of the Sega world.
I understand that, but I also don't really know what that means.
He's just, like every
He's
Sega
just-
system had a
he's just
Sonic
there.
game in the way that every Nintendo system had a Mario game.
Okay,
he
I'm
just was
tracking.
like the central character. And then the licensing of Sonic the Hedgehog went to Archie Comics, so I don't think they have it anymore. But for a long time, Archie was the publisher for Sonic-related comics.
I understand.
Yes. But Sonic does not like hang out with Archie in the way that Sabrina definitely does hang out with
that
Archie.
I understand. I'd be surprised
Sometimes
if Sonic...
they date.
Yeah, I have
It
seen
happens.
that. I have seen
So-
that. I've seen it happen. Okay. Began in 1939 as MLJ magazines, which mostly published superhero comics. I mean, kind of makes sense for the time period. And then the Archie characters were created in 1941 by John L. Goldwater, Bob Montana, and Vic Bloom. Bloom is a fun last name that I like. It's a good one. They were sort of inspired by the Andy Hardy movies, which I also don't know anything about.
That was like a Mickey Rooney. He was just kind of a puckish little everyday kind of guy, little rascal.
Okay.
And if you look at the 1940s, like the earliest Archie stuff, he really looks like Mickey Rooney. And
Okay.
they gradually got away from that into the Archie that is more recognizable to
That
today.
makes sense.
But
yeah, what I read is that they kind of wanted that sort of like everyday, relatable sort of fella was the inspiration.
Yeah, because I think back in the early days, it was like superhero comics were kind of niche. Things like Western and romance comics were a little bit more common. And then just to have a comic about like
just
a
like
guy
people
living his
doing
life
stuff.
was like kind of unusual. So.
That kind of makes sense. I could see
And
how
I
that
can't
would
think
be.
of, I mean, outside of a couple like Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, outside of that, not a lot of characters that debuted in the golden age of comics have any lasting impact to today. Like occasionally they're recreated, like the Shadow or something like that. But I can't think of anything other than Superman, which has started publishing in the 30s, 40s, and has just never stopped.
Yeah,
so it's quite a
that's fair.
feat that
It
Archie
is quite
has
a feat.
Accomplished.
So there have been a bunch of adaptations, including some animated adaptations.
Yeah.
One in 1968, The Archie Show, which apparently only had one season, but then like ran for a decade.
Forever, yeah.
That's pretty amazing, I think. And a bunch of spin-offs from that. More recently... what were you thinking?
No, it's just I've always loved Archie Comics, and I've never really gotten into any of this other stuff. Like I've seen episodes of that show. I guess the Josie and the Pussycats cartoon I watched quite a bit of. I watched a little bit of Riverdale. I'm just like an Archie Comics guy, which is interesting because usually I like.
Yeah, I can
all
kind of
things,
understand it though. I
you
feel
know?
like sometimes the comic format feels very like specific.
Yeah.
But yeah, more recently, Riverdale, which started in 2017 and ran for 7 seasons. I didn't know there was that much
Look
of
at
it
that.
until
Okay.
2023.
Yeah.
And Riverdale, I think, is the first thing I knew about that's an Archie thing.
Okay.
But I didn't know it was an Archie thing. Like,
Okay.
everything I heard about the show Riverdale has nothing to do with anything that I knew about Archie Comics.
Okay.
And then at some point, I think my sister and I somehow were talking about it. I don't know, one of our friends was watching it or something. I don't know how it came up. And my dad was like, oh yeah, like the Archie comics. And we were like, what are you talking about? This like weird teen, I don't even know how to describe it, show is somehow based on.
Yeah.
It was a puzzling moment for me.
I guess you're the wrong age for like the Sabrina the Teenage Witch show. Like not Chilling Adventures, like the
old one.
90s,
I
2000s.
do kind of want to watch that.
It's fun.
Because
Yeah.
I really like Sabrina. And I do still want to watch Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, but I feel like I maybe need to get Brave first.
Sure.
So I'm like, I'll start with like lower
Melissa
stakes.
Joan Hart.
I feel like I can handle that.
But that show was never in your orbit. You never.
No.
Because I feel like that was in reruns for a long time too. But I don't know.
Well,
I
I
guess
mean, we didn't.
You live in a post-rerun era.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely true. Well, it's like
Right.
we didn't watch anything that was like on TV growing
Yeah.
up. We like had movies that we got out from the
Yeah.
library, kind of a situation.
Witchcraft acceptable in your household growing up?
Yeah, I mean, we
Okay.
read all the like. Whatever. I was going to say witchy books, but that sounds witchier than it.
Okay.
We read all the books that most people were not chill with because of witchcraft, but
Gotcha.
that actually
Okay.
don't have that much
All
witchcraft.
right, because Sabrina was weirdly fine, whereas like other things, Bewitched, of course, classic example, was not okay. So I don't know why.
Yeah, I
Sabrina
mean, the
made it,
logic I find to be rather inconsistent.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, I think if like my sister and I had like actually been like legit trying to do witchcraft, that would have been too far, and my
Sure.
parents would have been like, no.
Yeah.
But like, whatever, books, movies,
I
and
mean,
stuff, that was fine.
As a parent, I find myself making weird decisions sometimes. Like I'll say things like, "Can you stop playing video games and just watch some TV for a while?" Things like that, which don't actually make sense, but sometimes
There's
he doesn't play video games and watch TV all the time. Just to clarify, but there are times.
There are times. I know,
you
I
know.
understand. There's like an infamous moment in my family's history where my brother Wes and I were doing calculus, and we were trying to
hate
take
this story.
we were trying to take
So
the area
dorky.
of a circle,
Okay,
but we were doing it in a weird way. We were like, what if we cut it into a bunch of little slices
gotcha.
and drop them down so they're all like sitting on a flat plane, and then we
embarrassing.
like use
Okay.
the integral
All
of
right.
the of the shape of it.
Yeah.
And we were doing this, and we were having so much fun, but it was like my family's like Friday night movie night, and my mom was like, guys, can you please stop doing that and just go watch a movie? And it was a
That's what
similar
I'm
thing where
talking
she was
about.
like, what
Yeah.
am I saying? But
Yeah.
also, stop
Yeah.
doing stop
Right.
doing this and come
Exactly.
hang out with the rest
It
of the family.
happens. It happens.
It does happen. But yeah, so I don't understand how Riverdale and Archie can be the same thing, but I believe that it's true.
I mean, yeah, it's all the same characters and everything.
I understand that. It
Yeah.
just it feels wrong. But anyway,
I agree.
tell me about your first encounter with Archie and how it came to prominence in your life.
You know, I was thinking about this, and I don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know. I do not remember a time when I was not reading Archie comics. I mean, I was always really big into comic books in general. I mean, I think I trace most things back to the old superhero cartoon that was in Super Friends in the 80s. And then, I watched a lot of like the Adam West Batman, the Linda Carter Wonder Woman. So I was always really into superheroes, like all the Filmation cartoons and everything. And so we would regularly go to, we went to this comic book shop that was like teal. It was like neon almost. Like the building was called Collector's Cove. And it had all the new comics in the center, and then along the base would be quarter bins. And I would just, anything that looked interesting to me, I would have like $1 or something, and I would just buy 4 comics and just at random. So I definitely got Archie comics that way. And then my grandma was a huge garage sailor. And so, we would do a lot of like yard sales and stuff. And I remember picking up like, oh, it's a box of comic books, and there would be Archie and stuff in there. So I think it was just that. And
That sounds so fun and idyllic.
yeah, the digests were everywhere. Like now I think, Walmart still carries them. Occasionally, like the grocery stores will have like the Christmas one or something. But it used to be like the end caps was like, TV Guide, Reader's Digest, all in the little, and a million, Archie, Betty and Veronica, Jughead, like Pep, Laugh, like all these Archie titles. I kind of preferred the Betty and Veronica collections and Jughead, but I was an equal opportunity Archie fan.
Fair enough.
So I don't know how it happened. It just always happened.
Okay.
So,
It's
and I've
just-
never
It's in your blood.
outgrown it, I guess. I feel like now I'm like, I read the Halloween collections, I read the Christmas collections. They've become so associated with those holidays for me. But like, it would not be uncommon for me to like see a stack of Archie comics at an antique store and just like buy them and read them. I don't know. I find them fun. I find them wholesome. I like the love triangle. I like Betty and Veronica fighting over Archie, and then like Archie and Reggie fighting over Veronica, and like I like all that kind of stuff. When I was a kid, there was I mostly did the digest, but there was like old floppy like comic issues, and there was an arc called The Love Showdown, and it was like Archie is definitely going to choose. Does he love Betty? Does he love Veronica? And I was like eagerly like, when's the next one coming out? And was like obsessed
Did
with
he
that.
actually choose?
That was they brought in the character Cheryl Blossom, who is in this connection.
Yeah.
And it was like Archie can't choose between Betty and Veronica. Archie chooses Cheryl Blossom, and it was this huge
Oh my gosh.
thing at the
Wow.
time. Yeah, and that stayed for a while. It was like Archie and Cheryl.
Okay.
There's a lot of romance, and I like the romance. Same reason I like 90210. I like that.
I can respect that.
I like that drama. There's a set where because sometimes the Archies are like a band, and there's Archie's albums. And so there was like the Archies and then Josie and the Pussycats. And Archie also has this on-again, off-again thing with Valerie from Josie and the Pussycats. And I really liked that. And there's a collection called Rock and Roll Romance that explores like Archie and Valerie. And actually, they did something in Riverdale where Archie and Valerie got together.
Okay.
I didn't watch those episodes, but I was delighted that it happened.
Well,
so
good.
I don't know. I like the humor. I like that the designs basically stay the same. Looking at this collection, like you look at one from like the 50s and you look at one from like now, and it's pretty much the same character designs.
Yeah.
I don't know. That nostalgic Americana always hits me. And for you, this was your first Archie thing.
This was
right?
my first Archie thing. I've read Sabrina's stuff, and
That's right, the
at
Kelly
times
Thompson
it has
Sabrina,
like touched up against Archie, but
Okay.
like not really gone any farther than that. So this is my first Archie thing.
The recent reboot that was like Mark Waid launched a new Archie series, and then Chip Zdarsky started a Jughead. There was a new Josie and the Pussycats. Jamie Lee Rotante, who I interviewed for House Things a while back, did some Betty and Veronica. All that stuff was kind of a modern spin on it. And I also really enjoyed that stuff too. So I don't know if you ever read that, but I think you'd like those.
Well, I have one right here that you handed to me.
Yeah.
When you said, I don't know if you'll actually like the one I told you to read,
Yeah.
so read some of this. And I did read some of it.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I did also, I read the whole
The
Christmas
whole thing.
collection.
Okay, let me have it.
You thought that I wouldn't be able to, but I did.
Yeah.
And I did enjoy it.
You
I had
did?
a good time.
Okay.
I didn't expect to, but like I have always
Rude.
enjoyed, well, I
Okay.
mean, I didn't think I would hate it,
Yeah.
but I just wasn't expecting to necessarily be like compelled by
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I have always enjoyed like comic strips. One of the things
Oh,
I
yeah.
used to do when I was like a kid, if I was like in Houghton for some reason and then like needed to ride home with dad,
Yeah.
I'd like go over and like get out the like whatever Sunday comics and like read them all
Okay.
while I was waiting for
Sure,
him.
yeah.
So it kind of reminded me of that, and so had a little bit of nostalgia for me there, even though Archie itself was not something.
Yeah.
I even had a concept that it
Okay.
existed when I was a child.
Okay.
But yeah, and I thought the characters were fun, and I also liked how the styling was pretty consistent. Like some of the clothes changed, but also not that much.
Yeah.
And I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of fun. So, and I did enjoy what I read of the Mark
Okay.
Waid one that you handed to me. And
Well,
I
I'm
probably
pleasant-
will finish it.
I'm pleasantly surprised. I really didn't know how you'd go. I hate when they do like sort of supernatural things. Like there's a couple where there's a magic elf called Jingle that shows up. I hate those.
That's
I don't even.
Well, it's so funny
usually I
because he just
skip
shows
them.
up and they're all just like, "Oh, hey, Jingles!" Like they don't acknowledge
Yeah.
it. They're not like, "Oh, what? Who are you? Where did you come?" They're not like, and they don't explain. They're like, "Man, the
Yeah.
first time I saw you was whatever." They're just like, "Yep, this is normal. We're just
That
accepting
was
it."
kind of a thing. Like Superman had Mr. Mxyzptlk, and like the Flintstones had the Great Gazoo, and like that was sort of a thing that was happening. I want to say like 60s, where it was like throw in a supernatural element, see what happens. So I think that's a holdover from that, but I don't enjoy that. What characters stood out to you?
I thought Betty was fun, and I
Yeah, I
thought
like
her and
Betty.
Veronica being like mostly friends, but sometimes like a little bit
Yeah.
about each other. I think that's kind of a fun dynamic.
It's pretty well balanced because, like, obviously Veronica is often played as like the spoiled rich one, and Betty's like the all-American, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that they kind of show the negative sides of both of them. Veronica's not always just a one-dimensional villain.
Yeah.
Although I'm usually Team Betty. I also like the friendship between Archie and Jughead. I think is really fun, and the friendly rivalry with Reggie. And I think the way the digests are set up too, where it's like sometimes it'll just be like a 3-page story. Sometimes it'll be like a 10 or 12 page story and it's like part 1, part 2, part 3.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there are ones that are just straight up a comic strip. It's just 2 to 3 panels. I like that occasionally it'll be like Mr. Weatherby and it'll just be a story about the principal or whatever. I don't know. I just never walk away disappointed from an Archie comic.
Fair enough.
So
I can respect it.
It's a dorky thing about me, and I can embrace that. So
we all have to embrace our dork side.
That's true. I mean, I did make fun of you for doing trigonometry. So
it was calculus, but yeah, you
that's
did.
Right.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
Yeah. Kate Elliott and I were just talking about displays and everything, and I was talking about the Super Bowl, and I said the NHL. I meant the NFL, but I also think that's indicative of...
No, I mean, I'm sure that I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I remember one time when I was a kid, I was watching Super Bowl with my... I think it was just football. I don't even know if it was the Super Bowl.
I like how you said you were watching Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. It tells you a lot, doesn't it?
Super Bowl.
It tells you a lot.
Anyway, you were watching
I was
Super
watching
Bowl,
it with
calculus.
my grandpa, who likes football and knows things about football.
Yeah.
And I asked him what an inning is in the context of this experience. And he was like, he was so like polite about it too. Like he didn't want to be like, clearly this has nothing to do with what's going on.
Right.
But he like was like, well, that's baseball. And I was like, all right, well, I've made a fool of myself on so many levels.
Yeah, it happens.
I still don't understand football.
I don't understand football either.
I know
really
sometimes they throw it and sometimes they kick it.
Yeah. Yeah. We're really exposing
I like soccer though, and I understand how soccer works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my one saving grace.
Any sport I enjoy watching live, except football, because I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you ran for 12 seconds and now we stop for 3 minutes and now you do it again. I don't understand.
I never have watched football live, so maybe I would feel differently about it if I
went
did.
to a Bills game this last December, and I'm glad. I was really happy to do it, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I almost died. It was so cold.
Oh, no. Yeah, see, and that is an absolute deal breaker for me. I would have been an icicle. You would have just had to like pick me up like solid block and just like stick me in the back of the car.
Yeah, like on the
that would
Flintstones,
be what happened.
Yeah. Do you see yourself reading more Archie comics?
I think I might.
Just the modern stuff, or if like a digest came your way, you might flip through it?
I think there's a decent chance I might flip through it, especially if you feel like this one isn't the best sampling. I'd be curious to see what you think a good sampling is.
Okay.
I'd take a peek.
All right.
So.
All right. Well, this one also, I mean, they are all Christmas or holiday stories. So
that's true.
You're a little hamstrung there. The Halloween stuff is really fun, I think.
I could see that.
And the collection I was talking about in our last bookmark was well put together, and it was like there was commentary throughout, with different, not just comic book artists and authors, but just random people who were Archie fans would be like, this is my favorite story from this era, and it would tell a little bit about it.
That's fun.
So they're really great at assembling these digests. I mean, how they've sustained popularity is amazing to me. But
you know what this really made me think, though, this collection?
What?
How much easier and potentially more fun it would be to do Christmas shopping if there were physical places that I could Christmas shop at without driving like multiple hours.
That'd be fun.
Because they keep being like, it's Christmas Eve and I need to get a gift for so-and-so. I'll just go to the mall and wow, this is perfect. And I'm like, if it's Christmas Eve and I don't have something for someone, it's like there's no hope.
It's
like
over.
It's over. There's nothing to do about it.
For sure.
So that was kind of a wistful moment on my part.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Nick.
Yeah.
I know you like Archie.
I do.
And you enjoy the sort of, like drama, teeny bopper aspect of it.
Yes.
Something similar in some ways.
Yeah.
Have you tried Sabrina Carpenter?
No.
Well, I know you haven't because we've talked about it before, so that's why I picked it. So I'm assigning to you to listen to the newest album, Man's Best Friend.
Okay.
And if you have time and feel like it, you can do Short and Sweet, which is the previous one.
What do you prefer out of the two of them?
Probably Man's Best Friend, which is the first one I listened to completely.
Gotcha.
Which is, arguably a sin on my part.
Okay.
But I'm new to the world of Sabrina Carpenter.
We were just watching SNL and she was a musical guest and she sang 2 songs, and the first one I was like, I think I like this.
Was it the one where she was singing in the hairbrush or the one where she was doing the karate? Okay.
Hairbrush. Yeah.
Both of those songs that she did, I think, are great. I think those are two of the good ones.
I liked the karate one too. Like I thought both were cool, but that was my first anything. Like I'd never heard her music before.
I'm optimistic that you might like it.
I like the whole, I mean, those songs had a bit of like a disco pop vibe, which I'm such a sucker for.
Well, and I also feel like there's like a certain, like Caleb said, it's like she's trolling everyone. Like there's like a certain like innate humor and cheekiness to her music that I think is kind of fun. So I feel like that might appeal to you as well.
All right. Man, So tune in next time to hear an old man talk about Sabrina Carpenter.
I'm so excited.
That'll be fun. But no, that's 2 episodes from now, because next time it's our end of year review.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it already.
I know. We got to talk about our favorite books, movies, shows, maybe comics. We'll see how
Maybe
you
comics,
feel.
maybe albums.
Yeah, albums. Good. Yeah, of 2025. Now I have to ask you, are we going to limit it to things that are from 2025? Because we always go back and forth on
We
this.
better not.
Okay.
For my sake,
Okay.
we better not do that.
How about bonus points?
Bonus points if it's from 2025.
If it is actually from 2025.
How many are we gonna choose? Just like our top from each category, or are we gonna do like 2 or 3? What's the
top 3?
top 3?
I mean, we don't want the episode to last all of 2026.
Well,
so
that's true.
Let's try to do a top 3.
All right.
And maybe we could breeze through it and talk the most about our number 1 choice.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Sabrina
I'll see you
Carpenter.
then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so ready for Sabrina
right.
Carpenter, Man's
Yeah,
Best
I
Friend,
gotta
to
get
be your
some
favorite
vinyl.
album of
Maybe
2025.
Maybe it will be. I got to get to listening. Okay. See you next time.
Sounds good.